Can you just repeat what you just told me?
Okay, so we're coming from a financial literacy conference, right? Me and a part of my team. And the reason why it's actually important is because I had asked them a question some time ago, and I had asked them if what would it look like if an entire workforce, right? What would it look like if an entire workforce was they went into work because they wanted to go into work, and they didn't go into work out of necessity, right? So again, what would it look like if an entire workforce went into work out of choice and not necessity? And I understand that that's not the reality for most, and even for myself, it's not a reality. But the question is, what would it look like if it was? Would they be just as motivated? Would they be dedicated? Would they not go into work? Would they come into work late? Would they take a lot of sick days? And the reason why I ask that question is because the way things work right now is that your employer knows that money is your motivation. So something extrinsic, so outside of you or external of you, is motivating your behavior, right? That's how the workforce works right now. So someone says, if you can think of like of the horse and the carrot and the sticks, where they have the carrot in front of the horse, and that's what makes them run. So when you think about somebody like yourself or even myself, the work that you're doing, if you have an employer, oftentimes it's the money is what motivates you. But then again, the question I would pose to you and the question I posed to my team was that what would it look like if we changed the source of motivation that our staff had? So instead of them being dependent on the money and coming into work for the money, what if they came into work because they wanted to be there? What if they came into work because it was what they were passionate about, or it aligned with what they wanted to do with their life, or they loved the experience or the opportunity, or all of that good stuff? So that's the question that I asked them, and the reason why I asked them that is because for me, I don't want my staff, I want my staff to feel or to be financially independent. I don't want them to feel like they need to come into work for the money. I want them to feel like I want to come into work not because I need the money, but because I love what I'm doing. I love the work I'm doing. I love the feeling that I get from it. I love changing lives, all that good stuff. That's the main reason why I asked them. And again, so for me as their employer, I feel that it's my responsibility to make sure that I'm providing them with the tools to go out there and actually become financially independent. So bringing them and paying for let's say training or whatever it might be, because I want them to get to a level where they feel financially independent. Again, going back to the idea where work for them is motivated by the work that they're doing and not by the actual paycheck itself. Yes, it's going to take time. Definitely, that stuff's not going to happen overnight. But the idea is that I want to build a culture at least, right? We want to build a culture where, again, it speaks to the idea of being intrinsically motivated to go into work and not being there because of some type of external motivation. Because for me personally, I might get in trouble for this, but for me personally, I feel like it's slavery by consent. When you motivate somebody, and I've been there. Like I've been a manager at McDonald's where I've threatened people to come into work. John, what are you laughing for, man? It's the reality, right? Like I've threatened people to come into work. I've said, if you don't come into work today, then we're not going to give you shifts for the rest of the week or something like that. You know what I mean? And I mean, what is that? What is that? That for me, that's like slavery by consent. You might as well have just put a gun to the person's head and tell them you have to come into work. You know what I mean? So, I don't know, John. That's it, man. I just really feel like at least I want to build a company or build a workforce where they don't have to come into work because of money. They want to be there, and I feel like that'll boost their productivity. So we'll see how it goes.
Okay.